There is a kind of person you have probably seen. They don't talk much about their goals. They don't post their morning routines. They don't tell you they're working on themselves. But 6 months later, they've changed completely. New body, new mind, new level. And everyone around them is asking the same question: what happened to them? The Japanese have a word for what that person found. It's called Seijaku. Quiet power. The kind of discipline that doesn't need an audience. The kind that builds in silence and erupts in results. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how it works. 30 setup. But first, I need to tell you about a man named Kenji. Kenji was 32 years old. Average height, average build, average life. He worked at a logistics company in Tokyo managing warehouse inventory. Same desk for 7 years. Same commute, same lunch, same slow, quiet desperation. He wasn't unhappy in the dramatic way. He wasn't crying at night or drinking too much. He was something worse. He was numb. He'd wake up at 7, scroll his phone for 40 minutes before getting up, commute for an hour, work for 9 hours doing tasks anyone could do, come home, order food, watch videos until 1 a.m., sleep, repeat. On paper, his life was fine, but inside, Kenji knew the truth. He had stopped growing. He'd had dreams once. To start his own business, to get physically strong, to read more, think deeper, become someone he was actually proud of. But every time he tried, gym for 2 weeks, business plan for 3 days, waking up early for a weekend, he would stop, always, without fail. And then one night, something happened that changed everything. Inciting moment. He was scrolling through old photos on his phone. He found one from 5 years earlier. Himself at 27, standing at a mountain summit he'd hiked with a friend. Bright eyes, wide smile, full of something. He put the phone down. He picked it up again and looked at his reflection in the black screen. Same face, different eyes. Somewhere between 27 and 32, something had been quietly extinguished. He didn't know how it happened. There was no single terrible day. No disaster. No event. Just 5 years of small surrenders. Snooze instead of rise. Scroll instead of think. Comfort instead of challenge. He sat with that for a long time, then he opened a notebook. The first time he'd written anything by hand in years, and wrote 3 words: I want back. Philosophy introduction. The next morning, Kenji did something unusual. Instead of scrolling when he woke up, he sat still. For 5 minutes. Just still, no phone, no music, no podcast, just silence and the early morning light coming through his window. It was uncomfortable in a way he hadn't expected. His mind immediately wanted something, input, stimulation, noise, but he stayed. And in that silence, he noticed something. For the first time in years, he could hear himself think. This is where his journey into Japanese philosophy began. Not in a book, not from a teacher, from 5 minutes of sitting still. The ancient Japanese called this Seijaku, a state of quiet energy. Not emptiness, not rest, not laziness, active stillness. The samurai who could sit in perfect Seijaku before a duel was not the samurai who was calm, because he wasn't scared. He was the samurai who had trained his nervous system to hold power without releasing it. Prematurely, Seijaku is the reservoir. Discipline is the dam. Results are what flows downstream when you choose the moment. First principle. But Kenji didn't know any of this yet. What he knew was that 5 minutes of silence felt strange and significant. So he did it the next morning too, and the next. By the end of the first week, something small but real had shifted. He was waking up 10 minutes before his alarm, not because he set an earlier one, but because his body had sensed that mornings now meant something. This is the first principle of quiet power. Before you change what you do, change what the morning means. Most people try to build discipline by adding actions: gym, cold shower, journaling, meditation, all at once. Day 1, they fail because they're trying to construct a building without laying the foundation. The foundation is this. Your first conscious moment sets the temperature for everything that follows. Kenji's 5 minutes of silence was not a productivity hack. It was a signal to his brain that said, today we are in control. Not the phone. Not the noise, us the mentor. 3 weeks into this practice, Kenji told his older colleague about it. His colleague, Hayashi-san, was a man in his 50s, quiet, efficient, respected without trying to be, the kind of man who finished everything he started, who had been at the same company for 20 years but was always growing, always reading, always sharpening something. Kenji asked him, "Hayashi-san, how do you stay so consistent? You never seem to struggle." Hayashi-san was quiet for a moment, then he said, "I struggle every day. I just stopped negotiating with myself about it." Kenji didn't understand immediately, but he wrote it down. "I stopped negotiating with myself about it." Second principle. What Hayashi-san meant, what took Kenji weeks to fully understand, was this. Every morning, most people hold a trial. The defendant is their discipline. The prosecutor is comfort. The jury is their mood. Am I tired? Yes. Is it cold? Yes. Did I sleep badly? Yes. Case dismissed. And every time you dismiss that case, you train your brain in a devastating direction. You teach it that your commitments are negotiable, that your promises to yourself are suggestions, that how you feel in the moment is more powerful than what you decided. The second principle of quiet power is this. Remove the trial entirely. The Japanese swordsman Miyamoto Musashi wrote, "Think lightly of yourself and deeply of the world." This is not humility in the weak sense. This is tactical ego removal. When your ego is loud, when you're tracking how you feel, how tired you are, how unfair it is, your ego will always find a reason to rest. When your ego is quiet, the action simply happens. Kenji began practicing this. When his alarm rang at 6 a.m., he did not ask himself if he wanted to get up. He got up, not because he was motivated, not because he felt good, because he had pre-decided. And the decision was final. The stumble. But on the 23rd day, Kenji failed. He'd had a hard week at work, a major project deadline, stress at home. He'd slept 4 hours 2 nights in a row. On the 23rd morning, the alarm rang, and for the first time in weeks, he turned it off, not snooze off. He slept until 9. When he woke up, the first thought in his mind was familiar and vicious. You always do this. You can never stick to anything. This is who you are. He lay there for 20 minutes with that thought. Then he remembered something Hayashi-san had told him once, casually, as if it wasn't important. The river doesn't stop when there's a drought. It becomes a trickle, but it keeps moving. Kenji got up. He didn't do his full morning practice. He did 2 minutes of stillness sitting on the edge of his bed. That was it. 2 minutes, and in that 2 minutes, he made a decision that would define him more than the 23 days before it. He decided that failure was not a verdict. It was weather. Third principle. This is the principle that most discipline systems never teach because it isn't exciting. The most important practice is the one after you failed, not the one on day 1 when you're motivated, not the one when everything is going well, the one when you fell, the one when your streak is broken, the one when the voice in your head is loudest. The Japanese call this nanakorobi ya oki, fall 7 times, rise 8. But here's what people misunderstand about this saying. It doesn't mean be cheerful when you fall. It doesn't mean pretend the fall didn't happen. It means rising is not optional. It is the only response that exists. Not rising is not rest. Not rising is surrender. And surrender doesn't just stop your progress. It rewrites your identity. Every time you fall and don't rise, your brain records it. I am someone who gives up. Every time you fall and rise anyway, even slowly, even badly, your brain records something different. I am someone who returns. Kenji rose. Transformation begins. Over the following months, Kenji's practice deepened. He added one thing at a time. Never many at once. Week 5, he began reading for 15 minutes before work instead of scrolling. Week 9, he started walking for 20 minutes every evening. Week 14, he cut late-night screen time to 30 minutes each. Change was small enough to feel almost insignificant, but they were stacking, and something else was happening that no one could see from the outside. His relationship with discomfort was changing. The thing that used to stop him, that tight, resistant feeling when something was hard, was starting to feel different. Not comfortable, but familiar. He could sit with it now. He could stay in the room with the difficult feeling without immediately reaching for the exit. This is what Seijaku actually builds. Not the ability to avoid discomfort, the ability to remain powerful inside discomfort. Fourth principle, identity shift. 6 months after that photo on his phone, Kenji's colleague asked him something that stopped him mid-step. "Kenji, what happened to you?" Not in a bad way. In the way people ask when something is clearly, visibly different but they can't name it. He didn't have an answer ready, but later on his evening walk, he thought about it. What had changed? Not the morning practice, not the walks, not the reading. Those were symptoms. What had actually changed was his answer to a question he'd never consciously asked before. Who am I when no one is watching? A year ago, the answer was, someone who means well but doesn't follow through. Now the answer was different, not because he was perfect, not because he never missed a day, but because when he fell, he came back. And over time, that returning became his definition of himself. This is the fourth and final principle of quiet power. Discipline is not what you do. It is who you become when you keep returning. Motivation is weather. Discipline is climate. You don't change the weather, but you can become a person who dresses for all of it. 2 years after that night with the photo, Kenji's life looked almost identical from the outside. Same company, same city, same apartment, but inside he was unrecognizable. To himself, he had launched a small consulting side project that was growing. He had lost 11 kilograms, not through any special program, but through consistent, small choices made every single day. He slept better, thought clearer, felt, for the first time since 27, like he was moving forward. Not fast, never fast, but always forward. His sister asked him once, "Didn't you want to change faster? Weren't you frustrated by how slow it was?" Kenji thought about it. "A bamboo tree," he said, "spends 5 years underground before you see a single inch above the surface. Then it grows 90 feet in 6 weeks. People only see the 6 weeks. If you're watching this, you're probably somewhere between where you were and where you want to be. Maybe you've tried before, multiple times, and it hasn't stuck. Maybe you've started to believe that you're just not the type of person who can be consistent. I want you to hear this clearly. That story you're telling yourself was written by your past failures, and failures are only final if you let them be. You don't need a 75-day challenge. You don't need a complete life overhaul. You don't need to become a different person tomorrow. You need one small practice, done in silence, without an audience, without a reward, just you and the decision. Start with 5 minutes of stillness tomorrow morning, before the phone, before the noise, before the world makes its demands. Just 5 minutes. And if you miss a day, come back, not with guilt, not with a dramatic restart speech. Just come back. That is quiet power. That is Seijaku. That is how ordinary people become extraordinary. Not in a single moment of inspiration, but in 10,000 silent moments of return. The world is full of loud people chasing loud results. ThinkVibeX is for a different kind of person, the one building in silence, the one who doesn't need applause to keep going, the one who falls and rises and falls again and always rises. If that's you, subscribe to ThinkVibeX, hit the bell. Leave a comment below with one word. What is the one silent discipline you're starting today? Read the comments. You'll find your people there. I'll see you in the next one. Build in silence. Rise with power.